Hello. All right, let's have a discussion about if the perfect diet really existed. Like there was one book, one resource, one way. You wouldn't still continue to see books on the shelf about weight loss, or you wouldn't hear new quote unquote ideas as to how to lose weight. Truly, if there was one book, and this is coming because I got done listening to a podcast. It was about happiness, right? This constant pursuit of happiness, and how there's books that come out every year on how to be happy and techniques to be happy. And if you do these things, you'll feel happier. And they made a good point. They said, you know, if truly there was one thing that would create all humans to be happy, that was, you know, a technique or something to do, books would cease to be created on the topic of how to become happy, because there's this one book and everybody wants it because it works 100% of the time for everybody, but nothing does, right? And so the reason this is important is because I get emails all the time. Hey, Heather, what's better, this or that? Neither. Is Weight Watchers better than Jenny Craig? Should I do this versus this? None. No, the answer is none, because the truth is what you need to do, and this is the hard part, it's your life, it's your body, it's what you're committing yourself to. I can't answer that. I can't say you're the type of person who would be best served to follow this particular plan and do all these things, because unless I'm watching you and I know how you react to all those things and I spend time talking to you, I can't answer those. So that's why I always talk about a program created for you, by you, the person. You're not going to write your own book, Jenny Smith's diet plan, because really it's going to be what works best for Jenny Smith, right? Just like your friend Rachel is going to do what works best for her. Here's how I see it. You're constantly learning, growing, and changing and evolving. You've tried various different things. Ask yourself, of what you've done, what has felt the best? Ask yourself, what have you seen yourself be able to stick to? Ask yourself, what hasn't worked for you? You are taking all this cumulative information, and yes, it is work, and I'm just going to be honest with you. See, when we pursue that one thing, we want two things: not to do the work and certainty. That's what all humans want. They want to know, if I follow this plan, step 1, 2, 3, I am guaranteed X results. And that's how it's sold to you, and that's why you buy it. But the reality is, one, there is no certainty, because I also get the things where I'll talk in general layman terms. I'll say, well, I'll take a 10 or 20% deficit and da-da-da-da-da-da. And I'll get somebody who responds back and says, hey, Heather, I'm an 80-year-old woman, I'm 4'10", this doesn't work for me. Good. It's good that you know that. And I'm not talking about you when I talk about the general, right? Because the truth is, there's always going to be an outlier. Like if you know anything about statistics, when you're talking to the general middle population, there's always going to be the person who can eat the 3,000 calories and lose the weight. And there's going to be the person who has to eat the 900 calories and needs to lose the weight. Like there's always going to be those two extremes. But what you have to realize is you have to dive deep into yourself and ask yourself a couple really important questions. Is what I'm doing sustainable? Can I see myself doing this for the long haul? Is this something I don't feel resentful to do? Because you're the one that has to do it. That's the other thing. No one's going to force your hand to do these things, to lose the weight, to take the action, go for the walk, eat the food. You've got to be willing and desiring to do these things. So it has to be comfortable to you to a degree. There is a level of discomfort in losing weight, of course, because you're having to say no to certain things, but you want to make it as pleasant as possible. Number 2, when somebody else comes in and tells you a bunch of rules, you'll be good and follow them for a while, quote unquote, right? But then eventually you don't want to follow them anymore because you don't really like them and they're artificial and you didn't create them. So this is why I say it has to be a program for you, by you. You know you better than anybody else. Yet we pursue the information for weight loss externally. Well, what's she doing? And what's he doing? And they said this and this book said that. Well, hold up. Go back to you, the person who has to execute all these things. Does it work for you? Look at your own past. Look at what you've done. Ask these questions, because as long as you're in the pursuit of what to do externally, you will always come up shy, because you're not asking yourself that question. That's like the most important question. What have I seen be successful for me? What doesn't help me? What can tend to trip me up? And start to build it from there. That means you're going to take the autonomy back and say, I'm capable of doing this, right? This is my body. It was gifted to me at birth. It's going to be here till the day I die. I got to take care of it. You've got your own medical history. You've had all these experiences in this body. You are capable of taking general knowledge you've acquired and creating your own plan. But I just love this idea that if truly, think of it very logically, if there was one program in existence that worked for 100% of the people, or a book that worked for 100% of the people, meaning we could all just blindly follow it, read the book, follow the plan, everyone gets results, everyone's happy, nobody turns up, because that's the thing, they aren't going to tell you the people who did the program who dropped out and didn't enjoy it, and they ended up gaining all the weight back. They're not going to advertise that in the books, right? But if it worked 100%, truly, like if people just, Jane lost the weight 100%, Sally bought the book, she lost the weight 100%, everyone keeps losing. Eventually, that book would be torn off the shelves. There would be no need for any more information on the subject, right? And what that tells us is it's individual. You can't get one plan, one program. Even Weight Watchers, go into Weight Watchers, eat what you eat, see where your points fall. Start with your plan in Weight Watchers. Like, don't feel like you have to conform to anything anyone tells you. Start with where you are. That would be number one, right? So anyway, I just wanted to share this concept with you because I see so many people still seeking that answer. Like, just tell me, Heather, tell me the best one. There isn't really a best one. You're going to have to get in there and get messy with it and make it your own. You're going to have to say, this is what I've learned about myself over time, and this is what I'm going to attempt to do, right? And try and make adjustments, learn from your progress, and then keep moving forward. That's really all you can do. So I hope this message helps. Let go of the pursuit of a perfect plan. Let go of the pursuit of you don't have enough information, because you do. Throw spaghetti at the wall, see what sticks. That's my recommendation. Take what you already know. Say, what am I eating right now? What am I doing right now? What results does that produce on the scale? Okay, cool. What about what I'm doing right now? Am I willing to start to change? Knowing that a calorie deficit is the one universal factor that must happen in order for my body to shed body weight, okay? So there is one constant, it's just like gravity. If I drop something, it will fall to the ground, right? On planet Earth. If I drop something, it will fall to the ground. Gravity, we all agree on, okay? Weight loss, same thing applies with caloric intake. Calories less than maintenance, weight loss happens. That's different for everybody, right? Going back to my 3,000 calorie, 900 calorie example, we'll always have outliers, but being in a calorie deficit will create weight loss. Being in a calorie surplus will cause weight gain. Being at caloric maintenance will create body maintenance, right? So that is one rule, just like the gravitational pull on Earth, that you can hold on to. Everything else is nuance. Everything else is personal, based on what will work for you. All right, guys, I hope this helps. If you need more support, more help, please make sure to look into, I have two great things, the podcast premium subscription that will allow you to have access to every Half Size Me podcast and new ones that are coming out. And if you need actual help and support from other like-minded people, I have the Half Size Me community. You can go to halfsizeme.com/join. Check that out. All right, you guys have a great day. I'll talk to you soon.